It's been quite a tough year for investors, especially those picking stocks, because there was an opportunity earlier in the year to buy in, but were you brave enough to do so? There has been a rally as we go into the back end of the year. But what's it been like for AIM investors? And we're talking now to a portfolio manager who specialises in AIM stocks and those especially for IHT planning purposes. It's Chris Boxall from Fundamental Asset Management. Chris, welcome.
Hello.
We've spoken over the years a great deal about AIM stocks and you're focusing in on this particular area. This is a market that's matured a lot, but nonetheless, it still seems to swing violently. When we get a market sell-off, AIM seems to sell off more. And then when you get opportunities, it seems to swing in the other direction. Before we take a look at 2023, which is the purpose of getting together at this late part of the year, what has 2022 been like in your book?
It's been a really, really tough year, unfortunately. And I sympathise to those people that have come in, had their first exposure to AIM this year, because it's been really, really tough. I mean, AIM had a pretty good core part of the pandemic, but 2022 has been terribly tough. And if companies have even mildly disappointed, or even those that haven't disappointed at all, you've seen incredible share price weaknesses. And if you, as I say, if you have disappointed, look out, because there's just been no supporting the shares. It's been really tough. And as a result, I mean, we are more than cautiously optimistic. I mean, you've seen companies sell off a heck of a lot.
Well, let's look at 2023 in just a minute, but let's look first of all and take a look at the numbers, because we've got some comparisons here. I think if we can bring up the chart to show what's been happening. I mean, this sort of says it all, I suppose, really. But in fact, as at the time of recording, just as we, the first week of December, the FTSE is actually now up year to date. But look at that big disparity between AIM, which traditionally has been smaller cap companies, and yeah, you're right, the going's tough.
Yeah, in context, AIM massively outperformed the FTSE over the worst of the pandemic. I mean, having sold off 20%, it was significantly up, whereas the FTSE was down. So it's really been playing catch up, and AIM over a longer period had significantly outperformed. Unfortunately, it's lost all that now on a tough year, and I think you can actually align AIM as a growth market more with the Nasdaq and the S&P, where you've seen some pretty big falls, not too far removed from that. I mean, we saw a bounce in November, which was encouraging, but ironically the FTSE 100 actually outperformed AIM even in November. And you've seen some very big AIM shares, come off a lot, which has influenced the index as well.
Well, let's take a look at those, and talking about the numbers of companies over the period between 2021 and 2022, because things have changed a little bit.
They have, and you've seen this. So the number of stocks really haven't fallen that much. 842 this time last year, in 21, 825 at the end of November. Market cap of AIM has come off a lot, from 145 billion this time last year to 98. That's the market value of all the companies on AIM, which is probably better than, more than many people think AIM's worth. Number of large AIM companies, billion plus AIM companies, now only 19. There were 28. It's worth highlighting, this isn't simply because of the declining share prices. You've seen some companies, AIM's largest company at the time, ASOS, has now moved to the main market, an issue. You've seen a lot of takeovers of large AIM companies as well. I think Ideagen was one that was a billion company, that's gone. So you've had several of those which have impacted that. But you have also seen some meaningful share price declines. Even at the lower level, you can see now only 337 companies are worth more than 50 million, compared with 405 in 2021. And I think the last point there probably highlights an issue for many, that the average daily traded volume of AIM companies has dropped circa 30% from 383 to 274. You've just seen very little activity in AIM. If